Hey everybody, Coach Tonya here, holistic health practitioner with Critical Bench, and today what I'm going to share with you is the secret weight loss weapon. Yes, there is one that's actually going to help you lose weight and get fit. Okay, so number one on a lot of people's agendas or in their minds, something we tend to think about a lot more than maybe we're willing to admit to is, losing weight. And as we get older, it becomes a little harder. Life changes, our bodies change, so working out and eating the way we did in our 20s and 30s doesn't have the same results or as quick of results as it does into our 40s and 50s. It doesn't mean it's impossible. It just, we got to switch our mindset. We have to accept that we're not in our 20s and 30s, and we're not going to get those results the same way, all right? But there is a secret weight loss weapon that you have. Yes, you already have it to help you lose weight and get fit. So, you ready? Now, I'm sorry if I've just disappointed a whole bunch of you out there, but truthfully, this is it. You already have everything you need to make this happen. And the first thing you have to do is be realistic with yourself. I mean, be very honest with yourself as much as you don't want to. What kind of choices have you been making? Are they supporting weight loss? Are they supporting being fit? Are they supporting being healthy, well, and balanced in your life? Or not? And be honest with yourself. I'm not gonna show up on your door and ask you, okay? But you have to be able to ask yourself that question and answer it very honestly, because you have the ability to do this. You have to stop thinking about it. You have to stop talking about it. You have to stop writing down all the things you're going to do, all the ways you're going to change your eating, all the different programs and exercises you're going to do. Stop buying all the DVDs and books at this point and make a commitment to just start doing it. Because if you don't take that first step and take action and do it, you're going to be in the same place with the same questions, the same low feelings next week, next month, next year. So if you really want to do something about it, you have got to engage your secret weapon, which is your mind and your level of commitment, and just do it. And if you're wondering how, if it sounds very fluffy, if it sounds very, well, sure, just do it. I'm going to help you out with this. I'm going to give you a few tips. I'm going to give you a few guidelines. I'm going to give you a few questions you need to ask yourself that is going to help you to just do it, all right? All right, number one is what? What is your goal? And again, depending on the age you're at, if you're someone like me, if you're, in that 35 plus range, your what is going to be a lot different than it probably was in your teens and in your 20s. What is your goal? What are you trying to achieve? What do you want to do? Is it fat loss? Is it just to be more fit? Were you very fit at one time and feel like you've lost all that conditioning and endurance and strength? Is it strength? Are you looking at possibly doing some kind of fitness or bodybuilding show? Because that is not uncommon or rare in today's day and age. There's all kinds of, if you go to any fitness show, any bodybuilding show, CrossFit, you will have people there from 20 into their 60s. It's amazing. So that might be you. You might be one of those people that did it, or wants to do it, or is looking to how to continue doing it, but things have just changed, all right? So what is it that you want to achieve? What is your goal? Where do you want to get to? What's the big picture finish for you? You need a very clear, very concise, very definite answer, because the more specific your answer is to this, I promise you a whole lot easier it's going to be to come up with a program, a plan, a lifestyle that is not only going to support that, but it's going to get you there, and it's going to help you to sustain it relatively easily. All right, so what's the second thing you need to ask yourself? Why? Now, if you've watched any of my videos, you know that I oftentimes bring up the why element, because whys are huge. You ever wonder, if any of you out there have little kids, there's never enough answers to their questions. It's always why? Why? How come? Why? Why? They get it. They don't know that they get it, but they get it. The why has to be massive. It has to be big. It has to be compelling, because if it isn't, when things get tough, it can be a lot easier to talk yourself out of things or to make excuses. So your why has to be big. And I don't mean this big. It has to be this big. It has to be big. It has to be profound. It has to be compelling. It has to be inspiring. So those might seem, again, like big fluffy words when we're talking about health, fitness, and wellness, but you just had a what. What is it you want to achieve? What is that? Why? And keep asking yourself why till you get to that, I like to call it your ground zero or foundation level question, because that right there is the reason why you will continue to get up and stay committed and stay on track. This has to be huge. Is it because now, and the evaluation of what's big and what's important is only up to you. There's no judgment here, all right? If it is, why? Well, because I want to do a show again. Great. Why? Because I used to do them and I was great at it. Why? Keep asking yourself that. When you get to something that there really and truly is no more whys to it, you've hit your ground zero foundation level question. It has to be something that compels you to do it, not because of what somebody else is expecting of you, not because of anything you think anybody else is thinking or saying about you. This is all on you. If you want to feel better, lose weight, get fit, or create better balance in your life, you need a compelling why, because life can be challenging. It can throw things at you unexpectedly, but if you have a big enough why, it's not going to derail you. If it does knock you down, you're going to get back up and keep going because it's that important to you and it means that much to you. All right? So why? What is your why? Find your why, and it has to be huge. All right, the next thing is the how. So you know what? You have a massive compelling why. So now how? What's the plan? So how are you going to do it? Now, again, depending on your what, that is going to definitely influence and dictate your how. Is this strength training in a gym? Is it taking classes? Is it doing cardio? Is it swimming? Is it just getting outside, outdoors and doing stuff? Choose things you like, okay? Choose things that make you happy so it's enjoyable. Exercise isn't defined by where you do it. Going to a gym and lifting weights or taking a class, yes, is exercise. But so is doing yoga down on the beach. So is going for a hike with your family. So is going kayaking. All of those things are exercise. So depending on the intensity and level of what you're trying to accomplish, find things that you enjoy to do that will get you there. Because if you enjoy them, you are more likely to do them without making excuses not to. Now that doesn't mean we don't have days where we just feel like, I don't want to do it. I'm tired, or I just don't feel like it. I'm ticked off today. I had a bad day, or I had a bad morning, or whatever. I'm not feeling well. I trained very intensely for years to compete in women's figure, but I loved the gym. I love lifting weights. I love lifting heavy. It felt good. I enjoyed it. But I had days where I did not want to go to the gym. My body was sore, my brain was tired, I was exhausted. Life things happened that put me in a funk, But ultimately, I had a huge compelling why, and I was doing something that I really, really enjoyed. And I did know, even in those moments where I was, kind of not really talking myself out of it, but telling myself all the reasons why I didn't want to go and do my training that day. Ultimately, I knew in the back of my mind somewhere was this very logical person that knew that just once I got there and started acting, started doing the stuff, that within a few short minutes I was going to start feeling better, my mind would be in a better place, my body was in a better place, and by the time I was done, I was like, wow, thanks. Oh, thanks that I did that and that I didn't skip it, because if I had, I'd still be at home telling myself all the same victim sob stories that I was before I got here. And now I'm walking out feeling way better and actually really, really excited about, continuing to reach my what. So find something that you like to do and mix it up, find things that are fun, and find things, if you're a family person, find things that include the family. Doing family activities, hikes, going to the beach, kayaking, biking, all of that kind of stuff is exercise. And it also helps, it brings your family in to make them a part of it. It makes everybody feel good, and it's time together. So how? You tell me. Find something you like and stick to it. Okay, we've got our what. You've got a compelling why. You've figured out a how or a couple hows, things that you enjoy. Now, plan and execute. And this is the secret weapon you have here, because you do have it. You have massive potential to hit your goals, to reach your goals, and you have massive potential to sustain them. But now it's time to stop asking questions, because you ask them, you answer them. I gave you 3, you asked them and you answered them. Now it's time to stop at the questions, stop talking about it, and start actually doing it. It's time to take massive action. It's time to step up and take that first step to hitting those goals and doing what you wanted, hitting that promise. Let me ask you this. If your child or your mother, someone you love very deeply, somebody that you would throw yourself in front of a train for, somebody that you love that much, asked you to make them a promise, and you made a promise, would you break that promise? Probably not. You would probably do everything under the sun and the moon, everything within your power, everything within your capability, with the resources and all that you have access to right now in that moment, right now in this moment, to make sure that you fulfilled that promise for them. Because ultimately, people that we love, we don't ever want to disappoint them. We will do everything to help them and keep promises to them. So why on earth would you break a promise to yourself? I'm asking you to make a promise to yourself that when you've answered those 3 questions I gave you, that you now walk out of wherever you are. Well, I mean, if you're at work, don't leave your job, because that might not work out so well for you. But I'm asking you to take your plan and start to execute it. And you may have planned out an hour-long activity, and you may find that 30 minutes into it, you are so tired, so exhausted, maybe you are that much out of shape and out of condition. You know what? It doesn't matter. You did 30 minutes. Good for you. You did 30 minutes. The next day that you do it, do 35, 40, 45. Maybe you will get that hour in. But walk away with your plan, and in your head, you are going to start taking massive action and executing that plan and seeing it through and hitting your goals. Do not break a promise to yourself. Because ultimately, if we're healthy, if we're well, if we're executing our own plans of action, hitting our goals, and living in our best quality of life, we can keep all the promises we want for many, many years, because we're going to be around that long. So, you wouldn't break a promise to your child, you wouldn't break a promise to your spouse, you wouldn't break a promise to your parents, your best friend, lifelong friends that have known you your whole life, people that need you. Well, people need you. Don't break a promise to yourself. Make this promise, ask those questions, answer them, and then jump in and execute. That is your secret weapon. Your secret weapon is that potential and power inside of you to just do it. Talking is not going to see results. Talking is not going to help you lose weight. Talking and thinking about it is just going to keep you talking and thinking about it. And probably, if you've been talking and thinking about this for a long, long time, you're probably surrounded by other people who are doing the same thing. Get in a new group. I'm not saying get rid of friends, but I am saying plan, execute, take action. And you know what? You're going to start being surrounded by other people who are executing their plans and hitting their goals. And guess what? That becomes motivation. That becomes inspiration. That becomes your, I do have to get to the gym, or I do have to show up to the kayak rental place, because if I don't, she's going to be there and I'm not going to be there, and it's going to look really bad. So all of these things work. You surround yourself with like-minded people that unknowingly and by default support you in all of this. You're not alone. I mean, you have this. You have this secret weapon. We all do. Are you going to use it? Are you going to make a promise to yourself to use it? Why not? There's no good reason to, in my opinion, there is no good reason to answer no to that question. This is a one-way ticket. We're here. Nobody gets out of this alive. But how do you want to leave? Do you want to leave, having lived the most fulfilling, healthy, well-balanced life you possibly could? Great. Plan it. Execute it. Just do it. Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining me today and watching the video. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up. You can subscribe to our channel over here. We have lots of great content and videos that I'm sure you're gonna love. And listen, for being here with me today, I wanna give you something free. Click here and you will get the 10 best body weight exercises of all time. Just enter your email and that is on its way to you immediately. Thank you again for joining me. Hey, comments or questions, you know where to put them. Ask away, I love to hear from you. Thank you, have a wonderful day.